It's time once again for Nights to Never Be the Same, everyone. We're swerving away from ghosts and shit to do an episode about voodoo. Voodoo is a real religion people believe in, and of course this has nothing to do with that, because it's another crappy episode of Baywatch Nights. You will be surprised to find out all three of the writers involved with this story are white. But not as white as Mitch Buchanan, who's just been called in to investigate another spooky case. A woman named Celia is being terrorized by strange visions of her daughter Annie. So naturally, she contacted the lifeguard who rescued her kid from drowning a couple years back. This is apparently not something they were sent to do by Teague, but they never explain why Celia thought to call Mitch or what she expected him to do. Are they still PIs and they came in that capacity? And to do what? All anyone knows at this point is the mom saw some shit and her daughter went to work. Does she know it's magic? Are there supernatural investigations common knowledge?
What is this, blood? Well, let me just stick my finger in that and ruin that evidence. Hey Ryan, am I right? It's blood.
You ought to know.
What's she into?
I don't know. Voodoo.
Ryan got that from one spot of dried blood and a tiny feather she found in it? What if it came from a pillow or something? Like, come on, there's far more compelling evidence she could have used. In Haitian voodoo, some practitioners turn people into zombies by using a powder that includes psychotropic elements such as blowfish. In the background of this shot, a poster for the band Hootie and the Blowfish can be seen. Therefore, it can be deduced that not only is Annie part of a voodoo cult, but Hootie and the Blowfish are being used to recruit impressionable young minds to their cause. Well, we're past the opening credits. It's time for Mitch to complain about that case he humbly took on. He didn't want to be spending his Saturday on a stakeout when he could have been spending it fantasizing about flying to Germany to pursue music and leaving Hobie far behind. Ryan suggests that they should pretend the stakeout is a date.
We can pretend it's a date.
Yes, more evidence that subconsciously she's attracted to Mitch. Somehow, Mitch turns this around and makes himself way creepier than Ryan in this scenario.
There's certain things you don't do on the first date that you do on maybe the fifth.
Well, then let's pretend it's our first.
How about the 10th?
Ew, stop it!
The male ego is a disease.
Let's see where she's going.
So much for a date.
It's still early.
This is how powerful Mitch's grossness is. Ryan was the one who suggested this fantasy date scenario, and by the end, she's actively repulsed by the mere idea of it continuing any further. Anyway, they eventually follow Annie into, I think, the power plant tunnels that run through the whole city where they blew up Mitch's frog hybrid girlfriend?
Must be one of those rave clubs.
Ryan, you were the one who threw out voodoo earlier, but sure, a middle of the day power plant tunnel rave. Guess what? The tunnel is now a cave. Fuck you. Of course it isn't a rave club. That would be dumb. It's some people doing that voodoo they do. Mitch has got to put a stop to this.
2 men are no match for my 1 foot.
Mitch is a samurai sword guy, not a machete person, and thus he nearly gets his dumb blocky head chopped off. This is stopped by voodoo priest Papa Doc, and you can tell by looking at him that he's probably on the up and up.
MySpace.
Well, let's just add some more stuff on top of this offensive caricature by naming this guy after the Haitian dictator Papa Doc. Really good taste, Baywatch Nights.
What do you do that makes you so brave?
I'm a lifeguard.
It's beyond parody anymore. Is it self-aware, or am I just slowly going insane? I don't know. I'm not a lifeguard. I can't decipher these things. I've got to cower behind Mitch. I'm on my period.
They just tried to decapitate me with machetes, Ryan. Quit being such a baby.
The history of my religion goes back 1,000 years. It all comes from Africa.
Well, that's very interesting.
The power of voodoo is no match for the power of Mitch not giving a single shit. He bounces back their threats with a concentrated blast of apathy.
Good luck with these guys, Ryan.
Annie didn't really want to be rescued because parents just don't understand. Stay out of it, Mitch von Malibu.
Heck of a date we're having, huh?
Enough.
Okay, here's where things start getting good though. So, this Papa Doc guy is pretty pissed at Mitch for being a smug asshole, so he decides to curse him. This is when the thin veil separating Mitch's two realities, lifeguard lieutenant and monster hunter, is completely shattered. We have perhaps accepted Baywatch Nights to be some parallel world also starring David Hasselhoff, but it is scenes like this that remind us that it is, in fact, intended to be the same Mitch Buchanan in both programs.
Hey, Mitch! Mitch? 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 Mitch?
No time. Have to touch Ryan's neck again and say something condescending.
Don't worry, Mitch. Me and Chris are here to save you.
You'll never kill me with your incompetence. Activate self-destruct. Oh man, I wish Knight's me had any friends.
I'm your friend, Mitch.
Shut up, you have girl cooties.
I guess we have nothing else to say about that.
While Mitch is convinced he's come down with a virus, Ryan does, their job and finds some voodoo stuff around his tower. How they knew what tower he would be at is a mystery. Maybe they had all of them covered and Cody is out there drowning somewhere. Ryan has the audacity to connect Mitch's sudden hallucinations with the voodoo ceremony they recently interrupted, suggesting that they talk to Teague. Seeing as how Teague is credit only, Mitch has got a better idea.
I got a better idea. Come on.
You've been tagged.
Who is this woman? Go fuck yourself. Knights is not concerned with things like that. You will never know her name, her relationship to Mitch, if there is in fact any relationship at all, or if there was any correlation between these two scenes whatsoever. IMDb tells me her name is Madame Truder and that she's a voodoo priestess, but neither of these things are ever uttered or implied. And for that matter, they said that Mitch saved Annie 2 years ago, not 6.
I rescued her daughter a couple years ago.
Whoever filled that out seems to be taking some creative license here. All we know is that Mitch says he has an idea, and then they cut to them talking to this lady who explains voodoo stuff to them. Is this another old friend of his? Or was she just like a voodoo lady in the paper, and Mitch noticed her ad while he was ignoring Hobie that morning? And if he thinks he has a virus, why does he decide to go talk to her? Was this written for Teague and they didn't have him that week? Is that why she's pruning flowers? Whoever the hell she is, she's played by long-running Showtime at the Apollo host Kiki Shepard. She is making her big return to Baywatch Nights after playing a camera woman in that episode where Lou Rawls got shot, but we will always remember her as Mitch's tough but fair physical therapist when he was temporarily paralyzed forever. Baywatch EU fans will also remember her from Thunder in Paradise, where she talked about dream crowns and hot sauce.
He's a Hongan priest from New Orleans. He's not somebody you mess with.
I didn't mess with him.
Well, you did bust in there and start throwing your kickboxing legs around, Mitch. I would maybe qualify that as messing with things a little. This lady's great advice? Ugh, don't even with that guy. I'm glad they talked to her so Mitch could completely ignore what she said, go to confront Papa Doc, and tell Ryan to stay in the car.
I'm coming too.
No, it'll get a lot more complicated if you...
Women be complicated, yo.
I'm glad this guy wields all of this dark power and leads a voodoo cult, but he still has to have, like, a minimum wage day job. He starts throwing around a bunch of magic at him, and then Mitch just, doesn't give a fuck. It's the opposite of badass. It's full-on too dumb to live territory. Why does Mitch seem to think this is parlor tricks? Does he think he had all of this stuff set up in the off chance the lifeguard PI came to his work? I don't know. Once the guy almost drowns you, maybe you should take his threats a little more seriously?
Look, if you kill me, it only gets me out of Baywatch Nights faster. I truly am a man with nothing left to live for, and that's what makes me so dangerous and unpredictable.
But wait, Mitch still has one thing that can make him feel an emotion.
Son of a Mitch, not a damn dog! It's not weird!
Now do you know who you're dealing with, huh?
Well, anyway, I'm on the clock. Where did he get that from? His chest?
It begins at sunset.
What begins?
It's my best guess, but I think Papa Doc is going to use Annie to gain the power of demons.
It's the time of the demons once again.
Griff was in there somewhere too, but honestly, I'm not even gonna talk about it.
While Mitch charges headfirst into danger like the dumbass he is, Voodoo Lady convinces Ryan to stay and help her cast the Curse of the Mirrored Box. As Ryan loves casting spells that involve demons, she's all in on this. No trauma left behind from the last time she tried that out. So what is the Curse of the Mirrored Box? Well, it's apparently based on a real curse meant to reflect back the evil someone else is putting on you. They never actually explain that at any point, despite the Voodoo Lady asking Ryan if she knows what it is, only that it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Someone tried this on Neely once, and they were never heard from again.
Your lifeguard can't save you now.
Oh no, now he's poking Mitch in the chest hair doll. Must be another stupid parlor trick.
You know, Tanya Harding could have used a guy like you. No! Get out of my head!
Isn't this just like Mitch? He's even made a voodoo demon sacrifice all about himself.
Yes, we got him.
Wait, what? The mirrored box reflected his evil back and made his chest explode? Karma! I don't even know what Voodoo Lady was worried about earlier. Seems like it was super easy to just kill him. Well, I guess the whole backstory about Annie's father dying and her falling into the wrong crowd and voodoo being a multifaceted religion with good and bad elements is not something they wish to explore any further. Trauma over. Mitch, isn't he cute? Many things happen during the course of this small interaction. First of all, Mitch kisses both mother and daughter. Problematic. Secondly, Annie says she's cast a spell on Ryan to make her horny for Mitch?
Here you go, honey. I love these little curls back here. They're so cute.
What are you doing?
We should go have a drink somewhere.
Okay, see, it's funny because Mitch did the exact same thing to her earlier. Looks like they cast the curse of the mirrored box on him. The male ego is a disease. Next time on Baywatch, it's the girls against the boys. Baywatch proper is gonna end sexism with some prank time. Gotcha!